Hello, hello. Earlier today we got a new trailer for Overwatch 2 Invasion, which gave us our first look at the new support hero Illari, so we can finally see what their abilities are and what they may end up doing for the team. Now the first ability that they showed off was a bit of a jump that's very similar to Baptiste's boots, except of course, he does not need to crouch in order to activate them. And in the trailer, we see her using that to escape from an Orisa ultimate and also get to some high ground. The next ability we see is her healing turret, which seems to work very similarly to Symmetra's healing turret, whereas you can throw it onto surfaces and it will stick and send a healing beam to a nearby ally that needs it. And then finally, we see her ultimate ability, where she jumps high up into the air and is able to fire down two essentially mega Ferro rockets, it looks like. With these trailers, it's hard to tell the exact damage on them, but I'm guessing each one will maybe deal 120 damage, the same as a Ferro rocket, but then also have a much larger range as shown in the clip where she uses it. Another thing of note here is that I've seen a lot of sources say that she fires one projectile, but in the trailer you can see that she fires two, since when they swap over to the view of the Symmetra getting absolutely nuked into oblivion, after she explodes you can see another projectile coming down and exploding again. However, from the Illari's point of view, we only see her fire off one projectile, so no idea if she actually gets two of them to shoot out, or if it's just some weird editing shenanigans that some of these official trailers have. I know the one on Lifeweaver confused the heck out of me because they made his rejuvenating dash look much better than it actually was, because in that trailer he used it like 3 different times in the span of a few seconds, so it made it seem like it was like Tracer Blink where you could store up to a couple of them, but no, it was not like that at all. Lifeweaver was just kind of allowed to break the rules of the game to get that play. But the most interesting thing that we can see from this trailer is something that a lot of people may have missed, which is how much ammo Illari has. So in Overwatch, one of the things I think is really nice about how it's designed is that a lot of heroes will have built-in ammo counters on their weapons. It's very unique just from a design perspective that these different heroes will sometimes just have these parts of their weapons that fit in with the overall theme of the weapon so that a lot of people don't even notice them, but will actually serve as a way to check your ammo without having to look in the bottom right corner of your screen. And Illari is no exception. On her gun, she has these 2 yellow lines of light, and as you can see, when she fires a shot at the Orisa that is ulting, one of those lines goes away. So those 2 lines are her ammo count. She has 2 railgun blasts that she can use before she has to reload. But here's the interesting thing. What if she doesn't have to reload? Because the interesting thing about that clip where she fires at the Orisa is that immediately after firing at the Orisa and hitting her, you can see that the bar starts to fill up to the point where it is completely filled by the times that she gets to the high ground after she jumps. However, in the clip with the Brig, where she throws down her healing turret, you can clearly see that the other line in her weapon is completely dark and it did not refill at all like it does in the Orisa clip, and Illari has to manually reload to get it to fill up. And this makes me think that Illari will actually have a mechanic where if you hit someone with your railgun, it will actually auto-reload that bullet that you hit. Because initially I thought that it could have been tied to her jump, because, you know, Cassidy reloads when he uses his roll. I thought maybe Illari jumping into the air would reload one of her bullets the same way, but you can clearly see in the clip that it starts filling up before she even uses her jump. So it does seem to be some kind of reward mechanic for landing your railgun shots that if you are able to consistently hit them, you'll keep reloading the bullet that you used and not have to manually reload, kind of making up for the fact that she only has 2 bullets in her primary. And I think that's very cool. I definitely think that it's something that will make her a very high skill ceiling support, that they not only have a railgun, but also they have to be landing their shots, or else they'll have their total damage output drastically lowered, since they'll need to start reloading every time they miss a couple. So now that we've talked about what we can see about her abilities and her primary in the clip, I think it's kind of valid to speculate a little bit about what her role in the team might be. And considering that they don't show any clips of her healing her allies with her primary fire, I think it's safe to say that her healing turret might be her only form of healing. So I'm just gonna kind of speculate based off of only that her healing turret is the only way she can heal allies. And I think that puts her in a very unique position as more of a support akin to Zenyatta, where you're going to be primarily playing them for their damage that they bring to the team. Well, Zenyatta also has Discord, but other than that, he's not really a healing support. He's a I kill stuff with my balls kind of support, as is everyone's dream. Just because turrets are usually really bad on offense, because on offense you want to be moving in and taking an objective. And the turret is static. If you set it up, it's not going to be able to grow legs and walk with you. Future Torbjorn buff, please. His turret literally has legs. Just do it. Let it follow him around. So for Illari, attack in particular could be very hard to run her, just because she can't continue healing the team as they move up. If she throws down her healing, it's going to be there for the next few seconds, I would think. Again, we don't have any numbers on her cooldowns or anything like that, so it's hard to tell. I'm assuming that the cooldown will be somewhat similar to Torbjorn's turret, if not maybe slightly less than his, just so that you know you'd actually be rewarded if you kill her healing turret. She's not just going to be able to throw down another one immediately after. But again, with how Blizzard has been doing balance recently, who knows? So she's definitely not going to be a strong pick on attack because of how her turret limits her potential for healing a team that is trying to move in. And then on the other side of the spectrum, she seems like she will be absolutely incredible on defense, especially on maps where you have a point that you need to defend, like King of the Hill, defending the point, or the hybrid maps, or even the new game mode Blast Point, just because you can just place the healing turret in an area that your team controls, like just having it on the point, and then it's just always there. Whenever an ally is low, they can just go over there and get healed up. Illari doesn't even need to be nearby or even alive at all in order to provide that healing to her team. And again, like I said, I feel like she's going to be a Zenyatta style support, where you play her for her damage rather than her healing. So if her damage is good enough on attack to make up for the fact that her healing isn't going to be as effective on a team that's trying to move in and take space, then she will definitely be a force to be reckoned with on defense, where she still has that incredible damage output, but now her healing turrets are actually able to be fully utilized to their maximum potential. And the other thing of note is that even on attack, without her having very good healing, I feel like she will still be a pretty strong pick, at least in higher elo games, because even in Overwatch 1, when we had 2 tanks, one of the best team comps in like Grandmaster top 500 games for a while, especially near the end of Overwatch 2's lifespan, was running Zenyatta Brig comps. Just low healing comps with very high damage output, because you don't really need that much healing if you're just killing everyone and winning the fight. Then you can just go get a health kit or just slowly be healed back up by Zenyatta afterwards, because if you're not in a fight, it doesn't matter if Zen's healing is low. So Illari could work very well, especially in a team comp where you have another support who can handle the bulk of the healing, and then Illari can just quickly offer some support if someone needs it with her healing turret, and then focus on trying to get an elimination or applying more pressure to the enemy backline. So yeah, that was all that we got for Illari. In addition, just to go over the rest of the announcements in the trailer, they showed off cinematics for Overwatch Invasion. It looks pretty neat. No idea if it'll be fun to play. I mean, I guess we'll all know if we pay $10 a couple of days from now. And next, they showed off the 2 new Flashpoint maps. Also look pretty cool. Servasa looks very nice, and New Junk City is very cool as well. Next, they have the Hero Mastery missions, or they call it a new game mode, which I would say it's a new game mode. It's basically a tutorial, and I've talked about Overwatch's tutorial and how horrible it is. So yeah, new game mode, the tutorial. Teach people how to actually play a hero that isn't Soldier 76. Very cool. Then in addition, they also showed off several of the new skins. Now to close this off with a quick skin review, I give the Symmetra one a 9 out of 10. It looks pretty dope. Next we have Torbjorn, who looks like he's dying of old age. I give that one a 4 out of 10. I don't know why you're making him suffer. Next up, we have Zarya, who kind of looks really basic. They gave her a hood and a gas mask. I gave it 6 out of 10. Next, we have an ass skin. Can't see much of it because her giant gun is in the way, but it looks kind of cool. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. Next, I saw was an emote of Winston being an iPad baby while eating peanut butter. 10 out of 10. Winton. After that, we have a Roadhog skin where he's seemingly made out of the fucking road. Kind of weird, but I give it 10 out of 10 because it's literal Roadhog. After that, we have an Omnic Pharah skin, which is kind of neat, but I have to give it a 6 out of 10 because I feel like Pharah already has so many robot-based skins, and some of them do a better job than this one does. It's just something that giving Pharah an Omnic skin doesn't feel as unique as giving a hero like, you know, Ana an Omnic skin. Speaking of which, next we have the Ana skin, which is the mythic, so it will have different color and design combinations, but it looks very cool. A few of the different versions of it have gotten leaked. It's 10 out of 10. Looks great. And then next off, they show off the Underworld co-op event, which is the story mode for poor people. This is going to be free, and it's going to utilize a lot of the extra areas of maps that were made for the hero mode that got cancelled. So they're actually going to reuse the new parts of maps that they made and actually make it something unique rather than just slapping a generic objective onto a map and saying that it's a mission. They gave the Puss Robot guns, which is cool. He is now able to commit crimes against humanity, which I enjoy. Very cool. 10 out of 10. And yeah, that's all that they showed off. Please like and subscribe, or Illari will railgun you the next time you Pharah alt. And until next time, see ya.